All praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem Kakadash. Honors to those I've learned from, those men that's constantly pushing out this word on the internet. Double honors to their teachers, the apostles of all Israel. And shalom to those of Yasharallah, seeking the truth, seeking righteousness, and hoping for edification. All right. This one's going to be as quick as I get it out. I'm going to call this one Little Finger. And then, those of you that have watched the Game of Thrones series, remember someone told me about it, said, man, you should watch it. I was like, because, when it first came out, I was like, because I'm not big on, watching TV at all. But he said, you should really check it out. When I watched it, I was hooked from the first 5 minutes. It's really, really, really well done. Epic. I think it's a documentary, but just told in a parable form. A lot of people, if you remember how everything changed in Westeros, was when like this red comet was in the sky, and it was just hanging there. It was just passing over Westeros, passing over the Rome of Game of Thrones, and they said by that comet returning, it will bring back wizardry and magic back to the Rome, because it's left, because even they didn't have dragons anymore. Dragons have left. They used to, those are things of the past. And once that comet came back, it changed everything. It brought them back to a time that was once there. And if you can see right now, we have this comet, they said it's on the way, called Three-Eye Atlas. A lot of movies, you can see a lot of things change. Is that Hollywood tells you things in the parable. They use their Babylonian temple, which is, Hollywood, as their way of forking out their parables to the masses, because they can't just straight up and tell you, what they're doing, because a lot of people wouldn't believe it. They would choose not to believe it. A lot of people just wouldn't understand it, and of course, you would just look at them for what they are, and they don't want it. They don't want you to do that. They're like, using blackface to mill out their more gnarly and disgusting habits that they don't want imprinted upon them. So, yeah, that comet came by, they changed everything. The dragons were gone. Now the dragons are going to come back. People are going to be able to do wizardry again, do magic again. This is in the whole Game of Thrones thing. And what we're going to focus on today is, a little character called Littlefinger. And this guy was a little creep throughout the whole series until he finally got his throat slit. But he was always close to power. Reason being, because, it says here, it was Peter Baelish, also known as Littlefinger. He was a cunning and ambitious fictional character from Game of Thrones. He was Rye's minor noble family. He was the master of coin in the king's small council, right around the money, right? He ruled by manipulation, bribery, and he had a network of spies, right? His schemes have a major impact on the events of the story, including the War of Five Kings. So that's a little overview on Peter Baelish, also known as Littlefinger. It was just a slime ball. He was just up around the wealth, just doing his little thing, pretending to be on your side, but really just pushing some kind of ideology. No one knew who his head was, who was really, why was he after so much power? And how did he get the power? He ran the brothel. He had like the pimp house in town. As soon as you come in there, the soldiers going to see him. He knew everyone's kinks. He knew what everybody, all the freaks that was in town. He knew because he ran the he knew who were the moles. He knew who were the just he just knew your kinks, because if you want a girl, you want one of his girls. He had the best girls, so he'd watch while you were doing things. I mean, he just was. One time, some girl just got done, getting skeeted on. He went and just wiped her mouth off and sent her to the neck. He would get his hands dirty. But we never saw him with a girl. Never saw him. Only person he really wanted was Sansa Stark, because he once had a crush on her mother, but he could never get her mother because her father had her. So he when Sansa grew up, he tried to figure out a way to get her to be his. But yeah, and this guy right here, I think that what the Hollywood trying to tell us to was about this guy. This guy. As I think that's who the real Littlefinger is. And a lot of people think that, he's Mossad. Yeah, I think he was linked in with them, but I really think that who was running him were the Clintons. I think his real bosses were the Clintons. Or a faction, whoever the Clinton faction is ran by, I think that's who his real boss was. When you really look at it, I mean, yeah, he did deals with Mossad. He's a Zionist. He's a small hat, but I think he came out of the Clinton camp. Because he had a infatuation with Bill Clinton. That little. Oh, we get that picture of Bill Clinton in the dress sitting on the desk. I'm pretty sure you've seen it. You can Google it. Yeah. So let's just start off with let's do it. One quick scripture. We're going to do Deuteronomy 32 and 32. For their vine is the vine of Sodom and of the fields of Gomorrah. Their grapes are grapes of gall. Their clusters are bitter. This guy, man, he's had it all. He was given the fatness of the earth. He was given all he could handle. And look, this guy right here, he's already the prince of England. Prince of England. His brother is going to be king because he was second born. And he couldn't use his little princehood to mack any girls. They ain't got no mack in him, no style. So he got to go see this dude to get his rocks off, Littlefinger. And Littlefinger's over there watching him. And Littlefinger's going to bribe him. What they say Littlefinger did? Littlefinger, they said he rises a minor noble family to become the master of coin, king's small council through manipulation, bribery. Where's that bribery at? Bribery, and through his network of spies. So he had little underlings, but that's what this guy did. Everyone's caught up with this guy. Everybody. He got a whole list. He got so bad. He got a list, and there's so many people on the list. They're afraid to reveal the list. So bad that this guy's even caught up on the list. So if he's on the list, and this, look, he done lost his house. They kicked him out. They kicked him off the royal family grounds. He's just a pariah. And this never happens to these people. Never. Even after he paid off the girl, Virginia Giuffre, somehow she died. It's just a weird story around her. And it's still, he was clearing everything up. Then everything just fell back. The whole bottom came out on him, and they still got him. So they kicked him out of his house. I don't know. They just pretty much say, you on your own, Jack. This type of thing never happens to these people. So he got caught up with Littlefinger, which I believe, this is me saying my opinion, that, he was out of the Clinton camp. Because, these Clintons, man, ever since they've been in office, things just ain't been right. And you could tell they were using some kind of heavy-hand tactics on those dumb politicians that think that are just after fame, greed, and a quick, getting their rocks off. And little Jeffrey Epstein was waiting on their ass. The problem with him, though, he started doing side deals. You know what I'm saying? He started doing side deals with Bill Gates. Bill Gates came up with him. Bill Gates, he started wanting to do all his chemtrailing. The congressman was like, no. So I guess they told him, look, you go see Jeffrey. If you need something done, and you find out what Jeffrey had the tapes and the list. And then ever since, he talked to him, then he went back with them. He went back, talked to the congressman, and said, I want to do some chemtrailing. And this dude got it done for him. So he started doing side deals, and that's what got him messed up. But yeah, that's why I like that movie Game of Thrones, man. It was really revealing a lot of what was going on within the elite circles, but in a parable form. You had to like pretty much know. Now you didn't know who Peter Baelish was. You didn't know who Littlefinger was. But now you can pretty much see that's Jeffrey Epstein right there doing his thing. So, I mean, let's just hit up one more scripture. We're going to make this one short. We're going to do Hebrews 12 and 16. Hebrews 12 and 16. You got to hit this. When you start talking about this vile dude, you got to hit this one. 12 and 16. Lest there be any fornicator or profane person as Esau, who for one morsel of meat sold his birthright. There's nothing more profane than selling your birthright for a meal. Yeah. And he's looking around like he want it back now. It is literally impossible for him to get the birthright back. If you knew what the birthright was, he can't get it back, okay? He can't go back. He cannot get the birthright back. The birthright is pretty much the nexus of living, of our experiences on this earth, the two witnesses. You got to be one of the two witnesses to have this birthright, and he cannot get it. And he sold it for a morsel of meat. So, I mean, that's what's going on here. There's a whole lot of things behind this guy, Jeffrey Epstein. He began his professional career as a teacher at a Dalton school. After his dismissal from the school in 1976, he entered the banking and finance sector, working at Bear Stearns. Now, he was teaching at the Dalton school. He was hired by former Attorney General William Barr's father to have that job. So it's just showing you the cycle and just the lineage that's going on. And these people, it's just too much coincidence of how these things are intertwined. So William Barr's father hired him to teach at the Dalton school. This guy doesn't even have a college education, okay? If you want to even teach in public school right now, that's modern day in New York City, they almost require you to have a master's in education, okay? That's how, elitist that they become. So to teach at a high quality private school, I mean, even this is in the 70s, they'd like for you to at least have a college education. I believe he even taught math. So that's like a really needed study. It's a core study program, and they're going to have some guy that didn't even graduate from college teach that. So we know something was going on there. They always kept him in the coffers. They always kept paying this guy. Kept him with a good job. But yeah, that's the parallelism that you can see between Game of Thrones and just the American system. You just see how they like to use blackface. This guy, there's no one more vile and profane than Esau, but who's he always using their blackface? This little monster right here. Look who this is. This is the man of the year. When you see something like this, it makes you question it. Is that actually, are they trying to tell me something here? Is that actually a man? Is it a man? What's going on here? Because it's playing roles as a woman. I think they have him playing. They have this freakazoid right here playing the so-called Jesus on Broadway. I mean, so that's how freaky we're getting. Joe Biden was freaky, but we ain't gone too far since Trump, and we know Trump is an all-out freak. But this place is done. This place is just done. There's really no purpose. It's an anomaly that this place has not been destroyed yet. So we know there's a few more prophecies that need to take place, such as the MOTB, which is the chip, and World War III. So we're waiting on those to come through. And this guy's clowning him. Look at this guy. We're waiting on those two to happen so that, we can get up out of this place, because this is getting really nasty. There's nothing safe here. There's nothing safe here. Yeah. So this guy right here, Littlefinger, And then look at this guy right here. That we got the football coach. The football's supposed to be as manly as it gets. This guy's being caught with child corn on this camera. Had the best football team. He was coaching your children. This guy's coaching your children. He got caught up with some charges. Ended up missing. They were undefeated. I believe they still won their states and everything. His son's a coach too. Nepotism, of course. And, I mean, that's what's going on. These are the real. This is the face of Sodom and Gomorrah. But they try to show you this face. They use a lot of blackface. They try to show you this face. But we know who the real enemy and who the real scumbag is. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and end it there. I'm going to give all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Kakadash. Honors to those I've learned from. Double honors to their teachers. And shalom to those of Rasharella, seeking the truth, seeking righteousness, and hoping for edification. Shalom.